Hey, what's up? This is Doc Coyle from the band Bad Wolves, and you're watching Austin Underground.
Hey guys, it's Crystal from Austin Underground. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am sitting here with the one and only Doc McGoyle from Bad Wolves. Thank you so much for being able to talk to us before your set at Austin 360. So it's your 10th tour date with Five Finger Death Punch. How has it been going? I know this isn't the first time you guys have been touring with them, so is there anything different? Is there anything new?
The only difference this time is we're doing these amphitheaters, which I was in another band called God Forbid, and we did like Ozfest back in the day and Mayhem Festival, and on those tours the show would play the amphitheater, but my band would be on the side stage. We'd be in like a parking lot or like a dust field, you know. So now we're like on the main stage, so it's like just playing to the amphitheaters are set up very differently, you know, with the seats and kind of it's a different vibe, and it's very hot. And a lot of times they build it so that the sun is coming in your face, you know. So that just it's 100 degrees and you're being lit up by God of heat, you know. So that's a little rough, but other than that, it's incredible. I mean, the crowds are massive, and it's really the perfect tour for us right now and the perfect tour to be on. So I have literally no complaints. And then the food is good. You guys can't see this on camera. We have like Snickers bars and avocados and stuff. It's quite a spread.
Guys, they have avocados. Unheard of. I don't like just more tour sets. I always think like chips and what I
Yeah,
think.
there's chips too. See, man, they got it all worked out.
Yeah. So, you just mentioned that you just got off like a 2 day like rest period. So, how has it been? I know that you guys have been touring for quite a lengthy while, and you still will for like the rest of the year. How do you guys deal with like those in between like resting periods and stuff? Like, does it take a lot of energy out of you that it's just hard to recover from it, or and then like does it change any dynamic on the stage when you go up next?
Well, I mean, the show we put on is pretty physical. Like we're not up there just strumming power chords and like it rose as it's stone. Like we're going off. So my neck messed up, back messed up, legs messed up. Uh, we pretty much go for it. So that can kind of take its toll. So any days you get off, you kind of want to like rest your body physically, and you know, for me, I have to do a lot of stretching and things like that. But I think like in the long term, it is important to decompress. Like one of the main things is when you're in a band, you're around the same people all the time. So what I try and do, not for like no offense to the guys in my band, but just get away, because that way it makes you appreciate the time you're together more. But if you're just in each other's face all the time, it just I don't care. It could be your girlfriend, it could be anyone you're around all the time. Sometimes you need that space apart so that you can enjoy the time together. You know?
Yeah, that's great. So let's talk a little bit about Disobey, released earlier this year. Incredibly dynamic album, more thought-provoking heavy metal than I've heard in quite a while. So in reference to the production of that album, what were some of the goals that you had in mind while constructing it, and do you feel they reflected really well, and especially now performing on stage with it?
Well, there was a big evolution because there was essentially a record more or less done when we signed with 11-7, but there was a long time between when we signed and when the record was going to come out, and it actually gave the band an opportunity to keep writing. So a lot of I'd say the majority of the key tracks were actually the songs that we developed after we got the record deal, and you know, I think because it could have gone a lot of different ways. You know, we come from a very heavy background. All the guys are in very heavy, kind of more underground bands, and the truth is, with a label like 11-7, they have that ability to market the band to a mainstream audience, to and with Zoltan managing the band, get us in front of all these people and have some access to radio. So it said, you know what, we can kind of push this a little more in this direction and make some of these songs a little more universal, which for me was amazing because I love the super heavy stuff, but I just love good songs, great melodies, stuff that's catchy. Because that's the stuff you, especially when you're playing live. It's like you could be playing the craziest metal song ever, but you're playing some arena. It's kind of hard to hear the details. But people, when you have something that's anthemic, you have something that's has a way of connecting to that person at the back of the room. That's the stuff that's really fascinating. So I'd say the goals, evolved over the course of it. But everyone is really happy with the final product because of the diversity. You know, we have like a lighter song, and we'll have a super heavy song, we'll have a fast song, we'll have a slow song, and I like that. I like an album that kind of has a lot of peaks and valleys.
No, yeah, and speaking of like diversity, so I know that you guys have mentioned this so often, but the bittersweet success that is Zombie, your Cranberries cover, just want to say like congratulations, but also like that arrangement was very unique, and I feel like now many audiences will connect with it as well. But in reference to choosing that song, I understand that y'all were fans of the Cranberries and stuff, but it like the lyrical content of it felt like it was changed a little bit to be more adapted to like 2018 relevance. So did that have anything in mind when you guys were like deciding to cover it, or did you just think like, hey, I love this song, we should try to make our own rendition?
Well, I mean, the real brains behind that operation was our singer Tommy, and I think the kind of the updating really has to do with that the fact that even though he did the research and understood the history of the song and the references it was making, that the themes of the song are actually universal, right? And they're timeless, and that they're just as relevant now as they were then, you know. And you know, this kind of, you know, from a musical kind of aesthetic point, it's just, you know, that's just kind of putting our own spin on it and making it sound just basically like a big heavy rock metal song. But yeah, I mean, I think the that timelessness, you know, is a testament to the original writing, a testament to Dolores, the Cranberries, and you know, and without that bedrock of just having this incredible song, I mean, none of this would be possible.
Well, thank you so much for coming to sit with us before your set and for these great responses. And if you guys want to keep up with Bad Wolves and the rest of their tour, make sure to follow them on all their social media handles that will be linked down below. And for now, that's all. I'm Krystal from Austin Underground. Thanks for watching.